What's up, RPG? What up, Henry? I'm just posting on X real quick. How y'all doing, man? Y'all good? Thank you, Henry. I appreciate it, man. Hey, RPG, did you end up buying the game, or did you decide not to purchase it? All these what do you call them? That you have to agree. I always feel like you're agreeing to them. You know, what up, Wara? The fine print. It's like you're agreeing to give them your kidney or something. I hate it. Okay, game share. Yeah, I don't have all my real life personal friends. None of them really play games, man. I mean, if they do, they play shit like Madden, Call of Duty. That's it. Nothing else. FYI. So, real quick, I think we have enough people in here. So, what I want to do with this stream, I'm going to stream probably for about an hour, but I just wanted to, we didn't get a PlayStation 5 review for this game. So, I really just wanted to come in here, check out some of the features, see, see how well the game is performing, see if the game's not broken, right? PC people found a couple bugs here and there, a couple technical problems, nothing too bad. A lot of reviewers that played on the Steam Deck said that the game runs well or consistently at 40 frames per second. So if the Steam Deck can run this game at 40 frames per second, I am guessing that it can run well on the PS5. But right now, I have it set to quality mode. I will be checking performance in a little bit as well. As you guys know, I like to play my games in quality mode. Unless the frames are too terrible, then I switch to performance. But I just like quality. I like the visuals. We've been waiting our whole lives to get these types of visuals, and bam, they are here. What up, Thrifty? Well, so far we got Henry, RPG, Wara, Thrifty, and a couple other people that haven't chatted yet. Well, welcome. Welcome. If y'all have any questions, please put them in. Anything you want me to try out, please put them in the chat and I will try to do these things. So before we start the game, let's just check the settings real quick, which I always do anyways. First one is a controller, just basic shit. So triangle, heavy attack, dodge, jump, light attack. I did hear a complaint that people that the jump they don't utilize it very well in this game. It's like the jumping is just for platforming. They wish that they would have included the jumping in attacks. Well, we'll see how that goes. Because these journalists they don't play games, bro. They play the first hour and they quit. Also, um, they are saying the game is roughly 30 to 40 hours on your first playthroughs, alternate endings, and that's just doing the campaign. But if you try to get all the secret bosses, because there are secret bosses, and try to just do as much as you can the game, that runtime can go up to as high as 50, 60 hours. They're saying with the multiple playthroughs, which you may or may not need, I don't know. You'll be going up to 100 hours in this game, which is, I mean, that's impressive. The game is 106 gigs, roughly. That's a pretty beefy boy. For gameplay, tutorial messages, okay, pretty basic stuff. Now I will leave all the settings basically as they are. I will start messing with stuff to how I like it as I start playing the game. The main ones that I usually mess with is the sensitivity. Sometimes it's way too much or not enough. Language, English, subtitles on. I'm an old man, so I love my subtitles. Display, like I mentioned earlier, quality mode is where we will be at for a little bit, and then we will check out balance and performance mode. Let's see how high we can get those frames. So we'll start off with quality, motion blur. I'm gonna leave it on for now, but I always turn motion blur off. Always. But like I said, I'm gonna leave most of the settings as is, actually all the settings as is, till I start playing the game and kind of get a feel for it. Um, Accessibility, pretty simple. Subtitles, colorblind mode, and motion blur. That's it. So pretty simple. All right, it's 9:08. So let's start the game. I got my Pulse Elite headset on, fully charged, so I can hear the 3D beautifulness. I got my DualSense Edge. Actually, no, I don't have my DualSense Edge. Let's get the DualSense Edge now, which was charging. Bam, got the DualSense Edge, the Pulse 3D headset. Yeah, guys, the boss fights. I'm excited to check some of these boss fights out. So a lot of YouTubers say that this game is the Souls-like. All the articles and the makers of the game say it is not. It is more like Stellar Blade. I will let you know what it is right now. Yeah, I like how this is looking so far. Mind you, we are at quality mode right now. We are at quality mode, so 30 frames. The hair. The hair is always the biggest giveaway on how well they're doing this. This game is made in Unreal Engine 5, so we'll see if they pull it off with the Unreal Engine 5. We seem to get a lot of problems in games that do use Unreal Engine 5, so let's see how well Game Science did it with this one.
Merits. Those high above don't trust me. I understand that. And they send you and those knuckleheads to threaten me. To obey and serve once more. I understand that too. But what I don't understand is... you bastards killing my kind!
Oh, he's pissed. There's a lot of detail in this game so far.
Stay back.
I hope I'm able to whoop some ass, man. Yeah, I like the detail in the game. All the outfits are very detailed.
He's a monkey of merit. A monkey was made Buddha once.
So far, my PS5 hasn't blown up, so...
Look, monkey. I don't make a habit of fighting someone I've bested before. Here's my offer. If you lose, I'll take you to the Celestial Court. They will stay and level your mountain.
I can definitely tell that
I shall certainly take revenge.
the movement of the mouth is a different language than English.
How tragic would that be, huh? You are one of the court. We don't need to resort to violence. How about you bend the knees, admit the wrongs, and we can put this behind us.
All these years, except for that pig, you're the one who talks the tallest tales. Good, I am entertained.
Yeah, lip sync is definitely off, but mind you, they did this in Mandarin, so that's what I would expect if they're making a game in China. I would expect the characters to be speaking Mandarin. So basically, we are visitors in this game. Just like I expect if an American company made a game, it would be English first, and then the other languages second.
Come at me, all of you.
Alright, here we go.
They gave you many chances.
So R3 locks on just like any game. Jump.
Such ingratitude.
Okay, circle is dodge. I can't tell if there's a parry or not. I'm pushing RL1 and I don't see him do anything. But time kind of slows down when I do a dodge. No, I do not have a health bar. I think that's maybe some power. Yeah, I don't have a parry. Okay. Yeah, those at the bottom right, those like You push R2 and it gives you some sort of ability. So you push R2 and then X triangle. And I think when you melee and you contact, you refill those energy
Victorious
bars.
fighting Buddha. Have you any idea how many would give their everything for immortality?
Immortality.
It's on the right, Wara.
For that word, all realms and beings have ruined themselves.
Well, all I've been doing is light attacks, and I mean, it doesn't feel spongy. It feels like a one-on-one heavyweight fight. I mean, now if regular enemy has this much, you know, health, then we have a problem. But I mean, I expect the boss fight to be more than just 10 seconds long. Okay, that's dope. So when I hit him with my power attack, which is triangle, it does cause more damage. Yeah. There. So I've been hitting with the heavy melee for the last 10 or so hits, and it brought his health down a little bit more than just regular. Sorry guys, hard to concentrate and play at the same time. Damn. What a pussy. As soon as I get to about to finish him off, he gets his buddies for help. I will say that this opening, how big it is and how extravagant it is, it reminds me of the last game I played that a major boss fight like this, or a big opening, was Spider-Man 2, when you fought against Sandman in that opening of the game. Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, the visuals are really, really nice right now. That first fight, it was a little weird because we were in the
And so
clouds.
ends
But
the
right now,
last
these
tale
visuals
of
are
Sun
incredible.
Wukong. A hero who treasured his freedom above all else. Buddhahood he attained, yes, but cumbersome he found the celestial rules, for he yearned to come back and to revel in the simple joys
I
with
haven't
us.
noticed any frame drops, but I am running it at 30
Little
right
did he
now,
know,
quality mode. So
his
we'll see
choice to
once I move it
forego
up
the
to
life
performance.
above
But so far, it's been
only
pretty good.
fueled their mistrust.
Now, I know this is only the first fight. I am like 80% sure that this is definitely not a Souls like. Every
This
single
stone
Souls game I've
has
ever played in
stood
my
for
life,
countless
I get my
days
ass
on the
whooped and I die in the
mountain.
first boss fight.
Since
This
my
was
youth,
manageable,
they've said that his remains lie
very
within it.
manageable. There is only one difficulty. You cannot choose difficulties in this game.
Unbegotten, undying, such is the nature of a stone monkey. Though his body was broken, his spirit endures.
It
Into
feels
6 relics he
more
turned, and separately they
more
escaped,
fluid.
choosing to
Not
stay hidden.
fluid, but it feels more loose than Stellar Blade. I don't want to say arcadey
Those are the
because it's
6
not at
senses
all,
of the great
but it has a little bit
mystery.
more mobility. Maybe because he's a monkey.
Yet no one has ever seen them, not in centuries. I'm old now. Venture through all the lands I
Well, it could
cannot.
be because I didn't have a health bar. That's why I said I'm like 80% sure it's not a Souls-like
Yet
because
among you, there
I
might
got
be
my licks
one
in.
who is destined.
But maybe it was
One
just a super
that
easy
can
fight.
recover
We'll see this next
all the
fight.
scattered relics. And upon the return of the relics to
Yes,
Mount
Stellar plus
Tuahu,
DMC.
he
Good,
may
good,
yet
good
rise
combination.
again.
That's what it feels like. It feels good if you're an action adventure type of person. Um, is you're gonna like this. You're gonna like the mechanics of this. And mind you guys, I'm just going based off this first fight, but this feels like an action adventure game in a way. Just the way that it feels, how you move the character. That's what it feels like. It even has similar control. Triangle is heavy melee, square is light melee, X is jump, circle is dodge. I'm trying to see right now if there's a parry because I pushed L1, R1, it didn't do anything. Now pushing R2, X square triangle, it's like a power that you have, and you use, I think you use energy, those energy balls on the bottom right of the screen. And every time you push R2 and X, for example, you use up an energy, and then you refill it by meleeing the enemy. No parry, okay. So it's all timing. It's a timing, which is fine by me. And if you would have saw in the beginning of the game, every time I dodged and I timed it perfectly, when I dodged, I left the imprint of myself that was invisible, while the character itself, my character itself, backed up from the fight, which gave me the ability to go back in with the attack, while the enemy was still attacking that invisible, like, vapor of myself.
You sneaky rascal! Dare fool me? I'll make sure you regret it!
All right, here we go. Let's see if this is a for real. There you go, Wara. There's the health bar of that bad guy. And I'm using light attacks. 3 hits. 3 hits to get them down.
You're still as mischievous as ever.
So mind you, right now I am playing in quality mode. It feels like if I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West. Kind of Aloy. Not as fluid as Aloy, but no double jump. Dodge. Bam. Yeah, this is not a Souls-like. This is not a Souls-like. I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat it. Now, another thing that I heard is the invisible walls in this game are kind of in places you least expect it. So it's not open world. It's linear. There is a sprint. It's R1. Alright, let me pause it. Alright, L1 is health. Heavy attack. Oh, got my ass whooped. This is a heavy attack right here, which I missed. So heavy attack took out 3/4 of his health. Light attack. So heavy attack, he goes from the top. Regular attack from the sides. So regular attack, and then heavy attack is from the top. Bam. Alright. So let's hit up these options real quick. Or the menu. So it looks like you might be able to upgrade your outfits, maybe your weapon. This is your seems like health. When you push L1, it gave me that green dust like they do with energy. Collectible items. It is believed that witch prayer can be used to make medicines. There you go. A little bit of crafting, I'm guessing. Okay. Okay, there you go. So you can upgrade. Also, there's a ton, well, based on the reviews, there's a ton of checkpoints, guys. So if you're about to go up against a boss, you can save the game, go up against the boss, you get your ass whooped, you can reload right where you left off. So it's not a Souls-like in that sense either. I do want to check the settings. So I've been playing in quality. I'm gonna switch it over to balanced and see what that's like. Alright, right now I'm in balance, and I can definitely tell already the difference in the visuals, at least. So this is balanced. Hold on to charge and build up focus. Hold heavy attack to charge. Charging costs stamina, but quickly builds up focus. It didn't take that bad of a hit in balance, but I can definitely tell a little bit of a difference. Now I'm going to switch it to performance. Alright, performance looks a little bit worse than balance. But I'll tell you this, guys. If you're constantly playing on performance, this is not going to mean anything to you. This is going to look just as good or as bad, depending on how you view it, in any other game that you played in performance mode. Except a Sony PlayStation first-party game. They do something different over there. But if you played any other third-party game where performance mode graphics, you're used to it, this is exactly what you're going to get with this game. It doesn't dip worse than other games. It doesn't look better than other games in performance modes, is what I'm saying. I like playing in quality because I like the better visuals. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off motion blur. Because right now it is set to strong. And it looks a little bit better in performance mode. But look at the ground right over there where my camera's aiming. You see how that looks? When I get up close to it, it looks a little bit better. But even when I'm just 10 feet away, it starts to look like a painting in a way. Yeah, of course, everybody uses performance, or most people use performance modes. I don't. I ain't bougie like that. The only time I'll play performance is if the frames per second is real stuttery.
closely quickly. The monkey is here.
There you go. So you guys saw the performance, balance, and quality. I'm gonna leave it in performance for the rest of the stream, and then when I turn it off, I'll go back to my quality mode. Anybody else or anybody wants to see anything? Want me to try anything while I'm here? Any questions that you may have?
What you waiting for? Pluck your hair and make an offer.
60 FPS does seem to be stable. If it's dipping, it's not dipping much. But I haven't noticed anything. I've been more focused on the story as best I can and also talking to you guys. But I haven't really noticed any dips.
Spitting image.
And yes, the 60 is definitely more than stable enough. But I will tell you this, when I switched it from performance back to quality, I did see the difference in frames. When I started the game off in quality mode, it looked just fine to me, just like any other PlayStation first party game that I play in quality mode. It looked just like that. But when I went to performance and then back down to quality mode, I can definitely see the difference in frames.
What good is it to rebuild a temple if the goodwill of men has been burnt?
But I think this game is 4K 30 on quality mode.
You've forgotten this place, but they haven't forgotten you. It's a tough one. Good luck to you.
Okay, so it looks like these are the checkpoints where you can rest, travel. So I guess there's fast travel, maybe left gifts and leave. Oh, here's your pre-order. So if you pre-order the game, then right here's where you can collect your pre-order gift. I don't know if it's all of it or just the one. So for those who said this is a boss rush game, as you can tell, it is not. Who knows how much distance there is between bosses and whatnot, but there's regular enemy in the game. I'm liking how this game feels. It feels really good. The combat feels responsive. I don't feel a lag or a delay. I have played melee games where there is a small delay from when you push a button to what the character does. That's a fact, Wara. Can't go that way. If you guys ever played Wild Hearts, that's kind of what the graphics are reminding me of. Another complaint that people or reviewers have said is that some of the collectibles in the game are so blended into the map that you can't even really see them. So you really got to play close attention. So this is either going to be a boss fight or a mini boss fight. Looks like a mini boss fight or a boss fight. The game is definitely easing you in. So it's not coming at you with hard difficulty right away. So far in the 30 minutes or so I've been playing this game, I can tell that this is going to be a game that I want to play from start to finish. I won't be playing anything else in between. Is exactly what I like in video games, because some games, they're cool, but they're just not satisfying enough that it makes me want to keep playing nonstop till I beat it. Based on what I played so far, is giving me that energy. The combat is nice and fluid, where there's room for it to grow. I don't feel overwhelmed where it's too complicated or too difficult. And the animation are cool. The art style is cool. The it feels like a good game. If the controls feel nice and responsive, the quality mode feels like a quality mode. The performance feels like a performance. The balance to me is the iffy one. But I guess it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, right? Not too much of one, not too much of the other. But if I were to play this game, I would play it either in quality mode or performance mode. As I said, right now I am playing for you guys that just came in. I am playing in performance mode. Once performance mode is over with, I will be taking a quick little break and then going back to quality mode just because I like the visuals a little bit better. But it does feel good. I don't see frame drops per se. I did see a little bit of a stutter on one of the first cutscenes once you exit that first major boss fight. But the game feels good. Nothing. I haven't seen any bugs. My PlayStation 5 is still going, hasn't blown up. So I'll be streaming probably for another 20 minutes. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep on playing.
There you go. Should you come across any miscreants, just point your finger at them. And
There is no motion blur, Thrifty. It's turned
You'll
off.
be able to hold them in place while giving yourself a breather. Sadly, mine is but a humble trick. Its power will wear off within a few short moments.
Yeah, like right now, the visuals with this guy is amazing.
Like this one. Anyway, just consider it an ace up your sleeve.
Oh.
The young boys these days know.
Yeah, the detail in the game is pretty badass, especially in the character design. So I just got my first power. I push R2 and square, and it kind of freezes them in place. There we go. So when I push R2, if you guys see on the screen there, you have 4 slots for power, and I guess they just refill automatically. So you don't have to you don't have to take a potion to fill them back up. You don't have to hit an enemy X amount of times for it to fill back up. It just fills back up automatically. Maybe there's a potion or magic that you can do later on where it refills them instantly. We don't know, but as of right now, they just refill up by themselves. And you have 4 slots. Self-advance and sparks. Open self-advance to awaken talents. Level up against sparks and awaken more abilities and spells. Sparks will not be lost upon resurrection. So that's another thing that's not Souls-like, where you don't lose everything after dying. That's a big win to me. Sorry if you're a Souls lover, but I just don't really like the way they do things over there. But for you guys that had questions, is this a Souls game or a Souls-like? No, it is not. It is an action-adventure game. Using this talisman shall immediately free your soul from your body and guide it back to the last keeper's shrine visited for resurrection. Okay. Tiny piece of gold. Yarn. Nelson, you have to go and watch the first half of the video. I went over all the performance stuff multiple times. But no, Nelson, there isn't no performance issues. The game is pretty well polished. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of upgrades in this game. I mean, I'm excited to unlock a lot of this shit. I always try to upgrade my health. Yes, Thrifty, it is way more action adventure. Here, let me just review y'all's chat real quick. YouTube hating on Will didn't appear on my feeds. I thank you for looking, Nelson. I tagged it on my X and on Thrifty's Discord. Balance looks great. Can you level up or level up your weapon? You can level up, Wara. As you can tell right here, you can unlock. There's 3 different categories: stamina, martial arts, and survival. I guess there's stances as well. So kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, where you had the different stances. Mysticism. This looks like to be a control spell. I guess this might be magic. So magic, staff stances, and foundation. War one. You don't actually lose anything when you die. No. Well, yeah, you don't lose it unless you go back and grab your stuff. So all them souls you're carrying around. You hell souls, blood echoes, etc. will drop, but you can get them back. Yes, unless you die before you get there. Okay, sorry, I just started lunch. I'm sorry, Nelson. I didn't mean to offend you. Is dying twice in a row that gets you? Oh, yep, War answers own question. Would you say it is more action adventure and less RPG? It is way more action adventure, Thrifty. You love Rise of Ronin, Thrifty. Okay, the motion blur. Okay. So here's equipment. Looks like I may have a secondary weapon. I haven't unlocked it yet. And I'm guessing I can upgrade or maybe get a better staff as the game goes on. Inventory. So it looks like you have H. ginseng, purple lingsy, suspicious fungus that creates a luxurious purple hue. This can be used to make medicines. So I guess there might be a little bit of crafting involved. And then here's your lore stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go over the settings one more time for you guys that came in late and don't want to review the video. There's not very much for settings. I mean, it's your typical stuff. For display, you have performance mode, balance, and quality mode. Motion blur, I started with motion blur, and then when I got done beating the first major boss fight, or the opening boss fight, I turned it off. Sound, saw basic stuff. Accessibility, all you have is subtitles, colorblind mode, and motion blur. That's it. No, I got the regular version. Game was $60. I had $35 in PlayStation Star points, and I came up $25 out of pocket, and that's the only reason I pre-ordered the game, was because I only came out $25 out of pocket. Otherwise, I would have probably waited a little bit. But I'm glad I bought it. I am very glad I bought it. The game seems to be exactly what I was hoping for it to be. More action adventure, not extremely difficult. I know there's going to be boss fights in here that are going to be challenging, and I'm okay with that. I just don't want every single encounter to be life and death and being on the edge every single time. And if I die twice, like War 1 has said, you lose everything. Like I just don't want to deal with that, man. Like, for example, I maybe have another hour of gaming before I have to go to bed and wake up at 6 in the morning to go to work. When I come home from work, I gotta, do my chores, cook dinner, take care of my son, and hopefully get some time to play. So I do not have the time or the energy to fight a boss 100 times to get to know his moves and the timing to be able to beat his ass. And I know we're beating a dead horse here, but bro, yeah, the Souls-like shit has been pissing me off because nobody's listening to the actual people that's been fucking that made the damn game. It's like, bro, pay attention. But just like anything, everybody wants to do their own agenda. Everybody just wants to, talk about what they think is gonna get them more views, more likes. It's such a pain in the ass. But either way, guys, I am gonna cut off the stream here. I'm gonna take a little break and then get back at it. Any other questions that you guys have for me before I cut the stream off? Bro, we talked about this on the podcast. Please go watch the last podcast with me and Thrifty, or the one before last. So not from last week, but the previous. Thrifty, we're talking about Space Marine. Thrifty brought up a good point about red flags for Space Marine 2 because they didn't have console review codes, in specific PS5, because we all know Xbox doesn't fucking matter. But like I mentioned on the podcast, majority of review codes are PC. Majority doesn't mean that we don't get console, because we see those all the time, but the majority is on PC. Just because console doesn't get a review code does not mean it's going to be broken. The difference between this and Cyberpunk, the biggest reason, in my opinion, is that the review codes were also broken for PC, but these fucking YouTubers and journalists barely talked about it. Barely. We knew at that point in time, or not at that exact moment, right? We found out later, they were just paid for. They were bought and sold. They sold themselves. They got their yellow chairs. They got their, collector's edition. They got their trips to wherever CD Projekt Red is to go interview them, to go play the game there. They got all these perks, right? At the time, the PS5 and Xbox consoles were coming out as well. So a lot of these people, YouTubers and journalists, were making it seem like the consoles with the new generation was going to take care of a lot of the problems that they thought the game had, and therefore it wasn't worth talking about it. That's the major difference between Wukong and Cyberpunk, is that they purposely, they misled us. They told us about the problems and they made them seem so minor. When the game came out, PC was broken, PS5 was broken, which was a PS4 version of the game, because we didn't get a PS5 version of the game until I don't even know when, I think a year later. And the game ran best on PS5. On PS4, it was broken to shit. But that's the biggest difference. Now, if you look at all the reviews that you have seen over the last 4 years that the PS5 has been out and the Series X has been out, a lot of them have been PC only. So I think that's the biggest difference between Cyberpunk and Wukong, is that they on purpose misguided us with the performance of that game. Where with Wukong, they told us straight up, hey, some PC people are having problems with the game. And by problems, we're talking a little bit of performance issues here and there, maybe a bug here and there, but nothing even remotely close to what Cyberpunk was. Just normal stuff that you see in video game reviews. Hey, it's got a glitch here, it's got a glitch there, performance, the frames drop a little bit here, whatever. But for the most part, everybody said the same thing. It runs consistently at 60. The Steam Deck runs at 40 consistently. And once I started to see that the Steam Deck ran at 40 consistently, I said, well, if it can do that on the Steam Deck, on that hardware, it can definitely run consistently at 60 on the PS5. Mr. Righteous, at the beginning of the video, I speak about it for the first 20, 30 minutes or so, but to give you a synapse, the performance works just fine, the quality works just fine, balance works just fine. I didn't see any frame drops that were extreme or anything. The fidelity of the game is just like any AAA game. So if you tend to play your game in performance mode, that's about the type of fidelity you're going to see in the game at performance mode. It's not terrible like Final Fantasy, when that came out and you put it on performance mode and it looked the way it did. But it works. It works. There's no frame drops. I've been playing for an hour. My PS5 didn't blow up. We didn't see any glitches. The only thing we saw is in one of the first cutscenes after the opening kind of fight, there's a little bit of a stutter or a little bit of I'll call it a stutter for like half a second, and that's it. And that's the only thing I've seen in the game so far. But your performance is exactly what you think it's going to be. Quality is going to be exactly what you think it's going to be. Right now, I am in performance mode, and it's been that way for the last 20 minutes or so. No, red flag does not equate bad, Wara, but that's the insinuation, right? Because you could easily say the only thing that concerns me is that there isn't a console review. Simple, to the point, right? But when you say red flags, you're insinuating there's multiple issues. Now, if you said there's a red flag, then of course, but that's why I say that. All PCs are not created equal. Absolutely. Never forget the yellow chairs. Them yellow chairs really fucked a lot of people, man. It looks smoother than Jedi Survivor. Oh, wait. Oh, dude. No, this game, compared to Jedi Survivor when it first came out, Thrifty, this is a completely polished 100% game. Like Ubisoft does. In comparison, I'm not saying it is what it is, but in comparison to Jedi Survivor, this game needs no more work. Okay, have a good evening. Have a good night, RPG. Listen, man, I have PTSD from these devs who release a shit product. LOL. Yeah, I want to agree with you, but part of me doesn't because I treat every developer in their own merit. I don't like to bunch a lot of these people up because the 5 to 10 big AAA games that we get a year, maybe half of them will have some issues or so, or less than that, maybe 30-40% of them. But how many games in between all those big AAAs come out that are just fine? And that's the way that I see it. In a month, I can beat anywhere between 5 to 15 games, depending on size. And out of those 5 to 15 games, I may come across issues in 2 or 3 of them. And not just new games. I mean, I just beat Rage 2 3 months ago, and the final mission of the game was glitched where I couldn't finish the game. I couldn't get the end credits. That pissed me off. After going back to previous saves, I had to go back like 6 hours worth of work in order for the game to let me do the final mission. So even on older games like Rage 2 that came out for the PS4, even that was glitched. But when I play all the indies and double A stuff that work just fine and are exactly as advertised and exactly as the game should be, it makes it hard for me to to say that in general the industry is coming out with broken games. Now, I think that you can say that in regards to AAA games. I would agree on that part that, yeah, the majority or a big portion of the AAA games released nowadays have problems. Some are minor, some are major. I can definitely agree with that. But as the industry as a whole, I cannot agree with that on that aspect. But people just jump to the conclusion. But it's good to be alert to what is going on. Absolutely, and that's why I wanted to do this stream because normally with a game like this, I have a lot of you guys, my friends, who pre-order the game. Right, we're excited to play the game. With Wukong, it was a little bit different. I don't know of anybody else that's part of the Thrifties community, part of the Discord, that pre-order the game except for me. And I pre-ordered my game, I think it was Saturday when I pre-ordered it, or Friday. And once again, I did so because of my PlayStation Star points, where I only had to come up with $25 out of pocket. $35 of that was through my PS Stars points. But even then, right? And just to give you another example, Space Marine 2, I pre-ordered that thing back in February. As soon as it became available for pre-order, I pre-ordered that sucker. I got the gold edition. Bam, done. But for this one, we didn't get that reaction. I'm the only one that I know of. I may be mistaken. If there's others, they probably got it, that are friends of mine. They probably got it today or yesterday or right before the game came out. But Toolman, thank you. So Toolman bought it 3 hours ago, right? So this game coming into was a little bit different. So I probably wouldn't have got this day one like I did if I didn't have those PS Star points, but I'm glad I did so we can answer a lot of these questions that these reviewers failed to do. Now, I do not care that you did not get a review copy because you did not want to sign the agreement that you will not be talking about political shit or feminism or whatever the fuck it is that Game Science told you not to talk about. Therefore, you didn't do it. Therefore, you didn't get a review copy. Or I don't care that you review games on console and you didn't get a review copy. I do not care. You are a journalist. Go do some investigation. Find out. Stop spreading rumors. Stop talking about what ifs. Stop talking about my mom's cousin's brother's uncle who works at GameStop told me this. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Or our favorite one. Sources. A very good source of mine that's in contact with Game Science told me that they've been having. That's fucking horseshit. That is bullshit. You do this for a living. Go to fucking work. You're talking about Game Science who's putting out their very first AAA game available on all consoles. I mean, not all consoles, but coming out to a major console, the PS5, coming out to PC, and you don't want to go to work? Come on, let's be real here. This was a way for you to stand out from the rest and get information that nobody else has. How many of these journalists flew out to China to sit down and get an interview with the art director or the game director? How many? Please answer me. How many fucking journalists flew out to fucking China? None. But how many fucking video gamers, streamers fly out and do your job for you? A lot of them. Aztec Cross is right now in Washington. He says he's on vacation, but last time he went to Washington on vacation, he went to go test out the final shape from Bungie for Destiny. So why are streamers doing these journalist jobs? So what the fuck do these journalists do? They just sit in front of YouTube, wait for their favorite streamer to come out with a fucking video, take notes, then go write an article and then put it out like they fucking got it from a reputable source. Fuck off. I'm sorry, I'm just pissed, man, because we all work for a living. There's not one person in this chat right now, all 6 of us, that don't wake up, go to work to the best of our abilities, to get paid, to put food on the table, take care of our kids, and get some time to be nerds and nerd out on video games, nerd out on cards, nerd out on comic books, on movies, whatever it is that we do. If somebody like me can invest $25 to answer questions for 6 other gamers, why the fuck can't you? Once again, I'm strolling through YouTube while I'm setting up the stream, and what do I see? 300k YouTubers, 200k YouTubers, 50k YouTubers streaming this game right now. Where the fuck are the journalists? Where's IGN streaming this game? Where's Screen Rant streaming the game with another person right next to them giving commentary? Because we know they can't talk and chew gum at the same time. Where are the articles popping up right now and after an hour after release to give you a quick synopsis of, hey, we got our hands on the PS5 version of Wukong. We have an hour into it to answer the major questions: performance mode, quality mode, balance mode. These are your options. We'll get back to you as we play more of the game. We will be up all night playing this game to get you this information first thing in the morning. So by the time you wake up to go to work, you have an article of 8 hours of gameplay. Where the fuck is that at? It's not there. Because right now what they're doing is they're going through YouTube. They're watching little clips of gameplay, 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, and trying to figure out how they can match that 30-second clip they got to their personal political agenda. That's what the fuck they're doing. So tomorrow, instead of getting our questions answered of, hey, performance mode does this, there's no frame drops, they're going to be talking about how Wukong is not a black lesbian. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It's just embarrassing, guys. Come on, man. The average age or the majority of gamers are 30 years of age and up. The majority. So these are people that have been gaming since Nintendo, Super Nintendo, shit, since Atari. So this bullshit you're coming with in your articles, we know better. We can see through the bullshit. We've been around the block. Gamers are connected. We have people from Australia, from Norway, from Europe, England, UK, all over the United States, East Coast, West Coast, down south. We are connected. This isn't fucking 1992 anymore. I can ask somebody in Australia who lives in the future, who got the game 12 hours earlier than me, how is the game doing? And they can answer instantly. Come on, man. You guys have a responsibility. I don't give a shit. Just like a ball player who makes billions of dollars and has a fan base, he or they have a responsibility to be a moral person, to do their job correctly. You, a journalist, have a responsibility to do your job the best that you can without bias. And if you do have bias, then get out. Start your own shit like so many people do. I am an Xbox gamer, and all my reviews are going to be from an Xbox perspective. It's that simple. You will have a following. People will like your shit because there's people just like you who do play on Xbox. Xbox is their preferred console. So they want to see the shit through the perspective of somebody who likes Xbox. Same thing with PlayStation and Nintendo. Just don't be fucking bullshitting and saying that, oh, I'm even keel, I have no bias. And then you come out with the bullshit that you come out with. It's fucking gross, man. It is gross. And I hope that people like Screen Rant fucking go out of business. They have no value to me. They have no value to the gamer community. The information doesn't come when it needs to, and the information they provide is shit that we can get from Twitter from a new name Bob who heard from his cousin, and it's the same exact shit. But either way, guys, I went on my rant long enough. I want to keep playing more of this game. Hit that like, subscribe, share this video out with your friends on your socials so people can see and get some of the questions answered that you guys yourselves had. If you came in halfway through the stream, I really, really recommend to go check out the first 30 minutes of the stream. That's when I went over all the performance stuff, and you can see how the game plays and everything else. But otherwise, I will see you guys on the Discord. I'll see you guys on social media. Comment, share, like, subscribe. I'm trying to get right now. I'm at 19 followers, I believe. Oh, I'm at 20 subscribers. Thank you very much, whoever sub. I'm at 20 subscribers. I will really, really like to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. If I can get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, I will be doing a giveaway. I've been thinking about this, and I want to share back a little bit and maybe put a game in your hands that you've never played before, or a game that you just don't want to buy. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So share this out. Let's try to get my channel to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We got 4 months to do so. I think that's definitely achievable. And stay tuned. I'll keep putting out more videos. Have a good night, guys.